Oh, Mr. Audio, where are you at? I got too much paperwork and I'm starting to get a headache, Mr. Audio. Oh, Mr. Audio, come on in here, Mr. Audio.
Hey, Jeremiah.
This paperwork's starting to drive me crazy, Mr. Audio. I just can't figure it out.
Well, that's what I'm here to serve you.
Mr. Audio, you're all dressed up. No place to go. I thought you were supposed to wear this hat. Where's this old Mr. Audio at?
That guy, he's gone. It's time to do some business.
He had a dream about a better world where real estate was taught everywhere. Wise people making wise decisions. Knowledge makes the deal a lot more fair. Mr. Audio, untaught real estate. There's no need to be afraid. Whether buying or selling with a little knowledge, a fair deal can be made.
Okay, Mr. Audio. Now I'm ready with this here disclosure. This disclosure is giving me a headache, Mr. Audio. But I was wondering.
Wait,
No, I saw this before. It says non-disclosure agreement. And I was wondering, could we just throw all this paperwork out and do a non-disclosure agreement so I don't gotta disclose?
you mean you don't want to fill out this 8-page report?
Nope.
You don't want to tell them about your chickens and your dogs and your ducks?
Nope. I want to do a non-disclosure agreement.
Well, you can do this about the income on your chickens and your ducks, but when it's time to talk about your home and your business building,
I still gotta write down about the ducks in the basement and the doggies and the puppies and the kitties.
But if you want to say how much you make on your chickens, you can say, wait a minute, I'm afraid.
You mean that non-disclosure agreement means I don't have to tell them how much money I make off my chickens.
That's right.
But it ain't gonna help me selling the property.
Well, it'll help you selling the property because you don't want any competitors. You got to do all this. But before you do that, let's talk about one thing that's important. It's a state law. It's like, who do I represent? I represent who?
Well, you better be representing me, Mr. Audio.
Well, that's when I signed this agreement.
I'm a seller.
Yes.
So if I'm a selling my house and I'm the one that called you,
Right.
then you gotta represent me.
I will
You're
tell
not
you.
I represent nobody else.
Well, I could be representing, but because I'm listing this property, and that's why I'm all dressed up for you, I would represent you.
Well, you know what I did with that woman that was gonna sell it before?
Well, what did you
I
do?
fired her.
You did? Well,
I
I'm totally
fired
happy
her.
about that.
Yes, I did, because Mr. Audio, she wouldn't help me with this paperwork.
Well, I will help
She
you.
just threw all this at me and said, "Here, you got to do this, Jeremiah." And Jeremiah's too old to
Do you
do
mean
this
he didn't
stuff.
explain anything to you at all?
No,
Well, that's why we're here, and that's why we do this show.
because you're going to explain this to me.
That's right, but I still can't.
Explain to me what lead is.
Well,
Is that like the buckshot I put in your butt if you come around here and you ain't supposed to be here?
that's right. It's the same kind of lead, but it's in paint. And because it's in paint, children are subjected to that paint with lead in it, and it can affect them adversely. So we have to disclose whether you know do you know whether there's lead in the paint in your walls?
How come every one of these you got to fill out all these papers?
But wait a minute, let's go back to the lead.
Okay.
Is there any lead in your walls? Do you have any lead in
No.
your paint? Oh, no, I'm not
House
talking
was
about
built in
buckshot.
1990.
Okay.
There's no lead paint in there.
Okay, well then we don't have. All you have to say is no.
But there might be some in the barn.
Well, then you
The
need.
barn was here before.
Okay, well then that's an important part
they
of the
painted it.
distinction. There you go. So you want to.
So I got to put down that there's might be lead paint in the barn.
Right, but if it's unknown, you didn't test it, right? No.
How do you do that?
Well, you get somebody, a professional, put something on the walls, and they'll tell you whether there's lead in there or not.
maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we don't want to know, Mr. Rody.
No, we always want to know, but you can tell them you don't
Someone
know.
will come around here testing. They gonna get some lead. It ain't gonna be that kind of lead and no paint, Mr. Rody. They're gonna get it right up their behind.
Well, that's your lead disclosure. It's always good to be open about all your disclosures, because when you do that, then anything that would happen in the future, your free conscience, they sign right there in the bottom, and it says, we told you about that.
Okay, so might be lead in barn.
Right.
I just put that. Is that good enough?
Right there, you can check. And
Might be lead in barn.
That's right.
Okay.
And nothing in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did good.
Agent acknowledgement certification. You gotta sign it, Mr. Rody.
Okay, I believe you.
You gotta sign it too. He's gotta do some paperwork too.
That's one piece. And
That's
that's
done.
part of disclosure. But before we leave, because I know we only have a short amount of time here, we have to
So
talk
we got the
about...
lead part of that done.
That's right. But you got upset with that agent because she wouldn't help write this stuff out. But the reason why is because we're not allowed to
You're not allowed to do
touch
that
it. No, because it's your
until it's
disclosure.
time for you to sign after I get
Yeah,
done.
there you go. Then I say I witnessed it. So I think today we talked about
Lead in persons behind.
and disclosure, disclosure, disclosure.
Disclosure, disclosure, disclosure.
Like
That's
the
what
three-
we're doing, Mr. Rody.
Three important things in real estate. Location, location,
We got
location.
all these papers to do yet, but we got the lead done.
We got the lead. We'll be back next week to talk more about the disclosure. We're here to serve you, to teach you about real estate. Thank God we have Mr. Jeremiah Wanamove, or no one would pay attention to us at all. Have a good day.
See you next week, TV land.
Untaught real estate. There's no need to be a